So how do you get more matches and dates from Tinder and other dating apps? Let's find out. What's going on, man? My name is Dave, and I help busy guys to meet high quality women. And a lot of guys really just don't understand how to work online dating. And it's no surprise when you think about it. They have their friends, they have maybe girls they know giving them bad advice about what to do with their profiles. Nobody ever shows you how to take a good photo, how to frame a good photo, how to do all of those things. And that's a huge blind spot. And then also when it comes to messaging, most guys have no idea how to do that. They end up messaging girls for days, weeks, who knows how long, wasting a bunch of time. And they really put all this time into online dating for very little results. So let's analyze why that's the case and what you can do to fix it. But first off, let's talk about, is online dating even worth it? I know that's on the mind of some of you guys out there. What's the point? Well, here's the thing. You have specific different ways you can go out there and meet women, right? You can meet women through your social circle. You can meet women through your work, which probably isn't the best place, but a lot of guys like to do that. You can meet them through cold approaches, going out and talking to girls during the day, at night, as well as, just from online. So why would you basically just eliminate one of those mediums for meeting women? All it's going to lead to you doing is meeting less and less women and giving yourself less options. So I always tell guys, do whatever you can do to maximize your options, because that's going to help you to give the best chance to meet the highest quality woman and bring her into your life. But then I know some of you guys out there will argue, well, Dave, only the top 5 or 10% of guys really actually get results with online dating. And that's true. Like, the top guys are going to get the most right swipes. They're going to get the most dates. They're going to get the most matches, the most results. But here's the thing. It really actually isn't that hard to put yourself in that top 5 or 10% of guys. All it really takes is understanding and actually going out there and taking the time to take good photos, getting your messaging down, consistently swiping, and consistently iterating and improving the profile, as well as understanding how to do, better posing, better style, all of that. And maybe you think, Dave, that's a lot. I don't know if I can do that. Well, all that really takes is a few hours each month. If you can set aside a few hours every month, even if you're super busy, you can be in that top percentage of guys. So if you think you can make that happen, let's talk about what doesn't work, and let's talk about what does and get you there. So a big reason online dating does not work for most guys is because their profiles are weak. Simple as that. Their photos are nowhere near where they need to be. Their bios, their prompts, a lot of times are too long. They're too wordy. They're too serious. They just don't do a good job of portraying their personality in a way where a woman would want to come meet them and hang out. The worst part is when guys don't get very many matches, they start seeing it as a reflection of who they are as a man. Oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have much to offer here in the realm of dating. And it starts messing with their confidence. You don't want that to happen, right? And really, it's not about you. It's not about who you are as a guy. It's about the way you're portraying yourself. That's why you're not getting the matches. And that can easily be fixed. And if you're sitting there thinking, Dave, I don't know, my profile is decent, it's okay. I'll be real with you. I've reviewed at least 500 guys' dating profiles over the last few years that I've been coaching, and I've been helping guys to really optimize this sort of thing. And out of those 500 profiles I've seen, maybe 1 or 2 guys have actually had their profiles optimized in a way where they could get results. The rest basically needed to change every single photo, every single prompt, completely revamp their bio, and just completely tweak their messaging in a way where they're portraying themselves in a different way. And that's no surprise. It's not like anyone's out there teaching this stuff. It's not, no one's out here showing guys how to do this. So most guys are approaching it blind. And if their profiles aren't optimized, they really have no idea, aside from the fact that they're not getting the matches they want. Another thing guys are trying that doesn't work is their messaging is just bad. A lot of times guys will try to send really long messages, or they'll try to message a girl for days or weeks thinking that, hey, if I really get to know this girl well, she's gonna wanna come out and hang out with me. It's gonna be this amazing thing. But that's actually not the case. When you message girls for a really long time online, you do a few things. Number one, you build pressure, right? So you create this pressure where if she comes and hangs out with you, she's already been talking to you for weeks or, days, and it feels like it needs to be this big special thing. And a lot of times it's just gonna give girls cold feet. They're not gonna wanna do it. The second thing, you give another guy an opportunity to slip in and take your girl, right? So while you're sitting there messaging her for a week, another guy can just go up and ask her out in 3 or 4 messages, and all of a sudden she's going and grabbing drinks with him while you're sitting there, waiting another week before you ask her to hang out, and she's already off the market, or she's no longer interested, right? The window has closed. And then the third thing is you just give her too much validation. You're sitting there messaging her all the time, You've now given her all the validation she needs. She doesn't even need to hang out with you anymore. She doesn't care, right? You've given her all the validation. Now she's just going to go hang out with another guy. And maybe worst of all, you waste your own time. You know, you're spending all these days, weeks talking to a girl where you don't even know if she's going to be cool, or maybe she is cool, but you don't know if you guys are going to have chemistry when you actually are meeting up in person. You don't know if she's going to have red flags, if there's going to be, you know, that compatibility, all of those things. And you're building her up more and more in your head over the course of the time that you're messaging her. It's a huge waste. Much better to get her out in person as quickly as possible. That's gonna tell you, all right, can there be something here or not? And another thing guys will try is these IG reach out. So a lot of times girls on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, they'll have their Instagram handle in their bio, and guys will say, oh, let me just go like some of her photos and follow her and drop her a message there, and you know, we can go hang out. But it doesn't usually work. And it doesn't usually work because if the guy's online dating profile isn't optimized, typically his Instagram profile is not going to be optimized, and it's just, she's not going to see it. She's not going to see the message, and even if she does and sees your profile, she's going to be turned off by it, so it's not going to work there either. So if the profiles are bad, the messages are bad, and the Instagram is weak, then what actually works here? How do you fix all this? How do you start getting results? Let's talk about that. The first thing you need to do is take better photos. And I'm talking about photos that are high quality shots. You can do this through hiring a photographer, or you can also just use the portrait mode on an iPhone. And I'm actually using cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 Plus to film this right now. So it's a very good camera. It kind of blurs out the background a little bit, you know, makes it nice and crisp, and you can take great photos with this too. Now, aside from the actual quality of the photos, you need to make sure your posing is on point. You need to make sure that you're taking up most of the frame. A lot of times guys will take photos that are like way too far away. They're like these little, you know, they're way too small and the photo doesn't work. And then you need to make sure your facial expressions within the pose are also on point. What I always tell guys is go check out the Instagrams of stylish guys who are going out there taking good photos. See if you can replicate some of those poses, some of those backgrounds, and just like give them to the photographer or just try to mirror them yourself, and you're gonna get much better results. Then aside from the photos, you wanna make sure your prompts are on point. You wanna make sure they're playful, they're fun, they're flirty, and they're also concise. None of these like 2-paragraph long prompts, or even a paragraph long, honestly. It shouldn't be more than a sentence or two, absolute max. I'd even try to keep it to a sentence and a half. And keep in mind, you're trying to convey your personality, right? You're not trying to tell her exactly what you're looking for. You're not trying to give her your whole life story. You're trying to just convey a little bit of your personality and get her excited to want to meet a guy like you. Now, let's say you get the match. You want to keep the messages short. You don't want to send 10, 15 messages back and forth. Then all of a sudden you become her pen pal. It's a lot better to keep it to really like 3 to 5 messages each. And then from there you go for the hangout. And that's going to prevent you from wasting time with girls that you wouldn't have vibed with anyway. It's going to give you the best chance to actually hang out with girls because you're striking while the iron is hot. And it's just going to help you to, you know, have a lot more quality girls in your life because you're going to be shooting your shot a lot more. Then you want to make sure your Instagram is on point. So you're already going out there, you're taking better photos for the dating profile, so you can actually use those same photos for your Instagram, right? And that's something, by the way, you should always be going out, iterating, taking better photos, and you put the best of the best on your online dating profile, and you put all the other ones on Instagram as well. But what this also entails is I want you to go through your photos on Instagram, right? And ask yourself, okay, for each one of these photos, would my dream girl swipe right on this? And if the answer is no, archive it, right? Or just create a separate Instagram where, you know, you just use it for your family memories, all those types of things, and then have one specifically for girls or for networking and things like that. Because your Instagram is basically your dating resume, right? The better it is, the more quality girls you're gonna be able to get. Even when you approach girls in person, they follow you on Instagram, your profile looks cool, they're gonna be even that much more excited to hang out with you. So that's something for sure that you wanna have built out, and no photos where it's, you know, even a little bit iffy. Now, if this is something you're serious about improving and you really wanna take your dating profile and your Instagram to the next level, really, you know, have a much better online presence, then that's something that we help a lot of guys with. We've helped hundreds of guys over the last few years to be able to build this out. I go in there, I personally analyze the profile, I give you suggestions, I analyze the new photos you take and make sure that it's on point. A lot of times guys will do this, they'll get, you know, 2-3 dates a week just from doing this. So yeah, if you want my personal help with that, you can just click the first link in the description, beast-coaching.com, and apply to work with me. But if it's something you're not really sure about, or you're still kind of overthinking, or whatever it may be, you're not really quite ready to take action, that's fine too, man. Just keep watching the videos. It's all good. And I'll keep helping you get to where you want to get to on your journey. That being said, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching the video.